Hello, Corentin. I'm glad to have you here for many different reasons. Not only that, I know you for many years now, and I had the chance to see you grow here in Warsaw and in the Polish ecosystem. But I also believe that you have an extraordinary and outstanding story to tell to the people. So I'm very, very glad to have you here today with us.
Thank you. My
and
pleasure.
welcome, in the Red Rooster Podcast, in the Webalian studio.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
So today, Corentin, we're gonna basically get to know your story. Why did you come here? Why did you choose Poland? To launch your entrepreneurial journey. What you did before that, and also understand exactly what is your business. You are in a business that I know quite well. I would say a market that I know quite well. So it's gonna be, I hope, very interesting for everyone that is watching. But the first thing that I can say about you is that your name is Corentin Bernard. You are French. You're the co-founder and CEO of Accolade Pro,
Yes.
which is a startup for the sports tech market, right? Overall, I will
Indeed.
let you, push
Yep.
a little bit further into that. And you basically have been in Poland now, I would believe, for many years and enough years, I would say, for you to be able to really assess, the difference between what you are, that you have seen in Poland in terms of business and in terms of growth with, all the experiences that you have had before that. So maybe just to start us easily through the process, you can tell us what you have done before arriving to Poland.
Sure. So just to give a little background about myself. So before starting my own company, I was always in tech. I worked for Oracle. That's where I started my career. Then I actually moved to Intel in Poland. I was an employee in Poland at Intel for a while.
Okay, amazing.
And eventually I transferred to NVIDIA in Paris.
Okay.
And after that, I decided to completely change career, let's say, and start in fitness.
Okay.
As my own, as an entrepreneur. So yeah,
Okay.
kind of a big difference.
I get that. Like when I hear you, between Intel and Oracle and NVIDIA, it feels like I'm reading the stock market shit.
Well,
How can I basically get to the next, biggest share possible, step by step, right?
it was not really planned, but what can I do? I'm working in sales. I was always working in sales, so I guess I just followed the money. So, yeah.
I mean, I love when people say it, like that's what we need. And so after those great companies, great companies for the people that, enjoy corporates and big infrastructures, for others might not be, but for at least those very innovative companies in the tech sector, you thought about maybe start now to create your own tools and, get into the entrepreneurial journey. And I think this is one of the part of your life that is, here for us to explore. It started in, if I remember correctly, 2021.
Yeah, we started making a first market study during COVID.
Okay.
COVID was not the right moment to start, obviously, especially in fitness.
Yes.
When everything was closed.
Yeah.
So we were just doing market study at that time, trying to assessing the market, seeing if there was potential for our idea.
Okay.
And then we actually worked to get a grant for at least 1 year.
Okay.
With the Polish government that we eventually got.
Okay.
But it was a very long process. So indeed, the idea started to emerge in 2021.
Okay.
Actually, funding the company was at least 1 year later, and I think we really get into the operation maybe a bit more than 2 years ago. So it's still pretty new.
Pretty young, and already a lot to show.
Yeah.
So maybe before, because we're gonna first talk about your journey before to get there, but can you give us a very short pitch about what is Accolade Pro and what you guys do in the sports tech sector?
Sure. So what it does is pretty much you have a lot of very complex CRMs today. You have Salesforce, you have HubSpot. They are not being designed for very specific industries. So we are a CRM dedicated to the fitness industry, which is basically telling the people what they need to do. They don't have to think, they come to work, they know what they have to do. It measures their performance in direct, and it's also calculating their commission at the same time. So yeah, it should be extremely easy.
Mhm.
They should not be using their brain. That's the target of this
Okay.
product. Yeah.
For people in in a fitness club, might be a little bit of an issue to not use their brain, as we think, more muscles and no brain. So
Uh,
you're kind of
we
going with that.
you actually is quite true in a way, because you have to think that people who are usually in the fitness industry, they don't have the highest level of education. They're underpaid quite
Mhm.
often, and usually they have absolutely no clue about IT systems. So the problem with most CRM solutions nowadays is you need to have a very you need to have a lot of integration. You have a lot of different options that you can do. Is
Mhm.
you have many setups possible.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, then you are completely losing your customers because they have absolutely no clue, and that's why you need to have a plug and play solution. And
Okay.
you know,
And just basically let them do what they do best, which is, manage the gym,
yeah,
and you guys manage, let's say, the headaches of the daily operations. And okay.
uh, yeah. For many, I think for many industries nowadays,
Hmm.
um, is it's just you have too many things you need to be perfect at. You
Yeah.
need to be great at marketing. You need to be great at sales. You need to have a great customer service and
Hmm.
all of that. And IT should just be in the background, and you should not be thinking of this.
Okay. Absolutely agree with that. And I think because we are in a more and more competitive, world, right? Many solutions. So as you said, you need to be perfect to be,
Mm.
visible, right? All right. So before to really dive into what Accolade Pro does, I'm very, very interested, and I hope, for the people as well to understand how did you get here, right?
Mhm.
Because I think the most interesting aspect of an entrepreneur's mind and mindset is how do they get to that moment, right? Of okay, I will do it. So let's just look at your journey, right, from corporate to entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
And as you said, you started in those big companies, Oracle, Intel, Nvidia, and you did that for many years. And the idea here, would like to know, what did you learn there, right, in those big companies, and that are widely successful across the world. And as you were saying, you were in sales. What did you learn there that you were able to bring into your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, there are a few things. Of course, we can talk about hard skills and soft skills. We can also talk about mindset. I I think first it's about learning about yourself and what you want. Okay, when you are in corporate environment, you are in a very big comfort zone, right? And if you want to become an entrepreneur, you need a kick. You need something to push you out of your comfort
Hmm.
zone. And you need to tell yourself status quo is not good for me. I need to move on. And first, you need to learn that and learn what is important for you. In my case, um, I was always in an industry with a lot of layoff, where you don't really have a security of employment.
Hmm.
Let's be honest.
Hmm.
You always, even right now, you see big layoff at Amazon. You had
Hmm.
big layoff at Intel before,
Yeah.
so you don't really have this security in corporate.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot about politics. And that's one of the biggest difference between being an entrepreneur and being inside a corporation. Corporations are highly political, and
Hmm.
it's not necessarily fair in a way that people who are the smartest or with the highest level of skills are the one being rewarded. It
Hmm.
doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It's usually a lot of politics you have to get into. Absolutely, despite that.
Hmm.
And there was also just life choice. I had a discussion with some clients and my manager. It was my last position, and remember, we're in this kind of setup, at a bar having a great time, and my manager was like, "Oh, it's so great, I cannot, I would be very happy one day to retire and go to Brittany, where I am from, and enjoy myself there as a retirement. When I'm more than 60, I was like, why am I doing this stuff? I
Yeah.
mean, I can already be there. It's literally
Yeah.
my home,
Yeah.
and instead I'm in Paris doing this stuff that I don't like, and
Yeah.
you just make the realization is no.
Okay.
You why would you live like this? There's probably a solution to not have to wait all your youth to get
To get
what you
there.
want already.
Exactly.
You see,
Yeah.
so and taxes as well.
Okay.
It's a big one. I was earning a lot of money at the end,
Mm-hmm.
but I was paying so much taxes. It was no point. 1 month in France, I paid like 35,000 euros of taxes in 1 month, which means I was in minus.
Yeah.
What's the point of
Yeah.
working
Yeah. Doing what you're
at
doing.
this
Yeah.
stage?
Yeah.
So no, it's a lot of variety of reasons. So in a way, you need to understand what's important for you
Mm-hmm.
and what motivation you will have to
Yeah.
become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Now, if I go back to your question and we talk about skills,
Mm.
I think for me, there are two kind of skills that are really the things I learned in sales, which were really important.
Mm-hmm.
I really learned a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially at Oracle when I
Okay.
started. It gave me the right basis to
Okay.
actually be good at sales.
Okay.
And then
Could you mention one thing that Oracle that taught you in terms of sales or
yeah,
an approach?
yeah, you had to at that time we had to learn the Sandler sales method, and
Okay.
which is a lot of listening to the client and trying to come up with solutions, problem solving. It's like consultative selling,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good start.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I kept with me as a
Okay.
mindset
Yeah.
for sales,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
From the very
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
At Nvidia was different. It was more about strategy.
Okay.
The way Jensen set up the company and the mission we had to do at salespeople was slightly different. It's a lot about influence
Mm-hmm.
instead of hard selling. And it's very interesting to me because even nowadays, I'm making sure that my clients are consuming my products, they are using it constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
It's not
something I
only
learned.
about the sell, it's about
After.
basically selling them something that is useful,
Mhm.
that you see being used, and potentially you can add more things to it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's about the value you offer as well
Yeah.
as a partner.
Got you.
You need to provide information.
Yeah.
You need to, for example, as when you're at Nvidia, you know everything because you have 85% market share. So
Okay.
you're at a point where you can pretty much um, describe what would be the next trend in the market, and that's something I'm trying to do as well in the fitness industry nowadays. Gather as much information as possible and bring added value to my customers.
Okay. So it's not only about selling the product, but understanding in what context you are selling the product.
Yeah, and you need to be more than a salesperson. You
Absolutely.
need to be some kind of ambassador.
Yeah.
And you need to have a vision as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
People don't really understand what vision is. Vision is, or in my case, is I know the market will go that way. So for me, in fitness
Or you
industry,
expect it to go
yeah,
that way, let's say. Yeah.
and those are the reason why it will go that way.
Yeah.
And here is what I'm providing to reach
Supports that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. Okay. That's great. And basically here, what I wanted to also understand as you were explaining, this feeling that you had, to make that change and so on, was it something that came out, from, one day to the other, or let's say through a process of, having that career path? Or was it always this voice in your head, saying, I would do something on my own, I would create something, and then just let's say your 10 years in, this tech and hardware market, kind of opened you to that because you're like, okay, as you explained, yeah, I don't want to do that my whole youth, yeah, and I want to do my own thing. So
Yeah.
how was it?
It's a process.
Okay.
I think a lot of people get it wrong. They think you just give it up and become an entrepreneur. At least for me, it didn't went that way. I from the very beginning, I wanted to be at some stage a owner.
Okay.
My first degree was in hospitality.
Okay. Yeah.
It's completely different. But you meet bar owners and those kind of guys, and there's something about being an owner or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I thought of it, and that's why I got into sales, because for me, sales was one of the biggest skills you can get if you actually want to be successful in entrepreneurship. So
being able to sell to people is crazy.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
I understood that from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So that's why I went into this career, and after that, and that will be for audience as well. If you really want to get in entrepreneurship, that's a process. Even in a corporation, you can learn it by having some projects, come with ideas, become what they call an entrepreneur. And that's what I was doing. I led some initiative inside Intel. For example, I was managing some projects that I built myself with some key clients. That's
Okay.
something I try to do with Amazon, for example, how
Okay.
we can link our strategy with them. These kind of things.
So, but it was things that you got the opportunity to do, or you said, okay, let me just do something different than what I do on a day to day. And then you created that space
Yeah.
within the team or whatever
Yes.
the place you were,
It
right?
was like that.
Yeah.
If you have a intelligent managers, they will let you do
They
it.
will let you do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
if they see the
Yes,
value.
Yes.
And if you want to make it in a corporation, you always have to link it with some kind of corporation visibility.
Mhm.
And it should always be linked with a political agenda.
Okay.
It's not about the result, it's about the political agenda. It's a period, that's it. So if you are able to, as an employee, make this, give this opportunity
Mhm.
to show, give a good show in the good light your manager, then yeah, you're on the right path, and that's how we should think about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way you can start developing the skills, which are problem solving skills.
Yeah.
That's really what matters, is problem solving skills.
Okay.
And after that, in my case, I learned sales, I learned how to be an entrepreneur. Then I had this realization later that, okay, that's enough. I
Mhm.
can do it on my own.
Yeah.
However, when you jump ship,
Yeah.
you will never be entirely prepared.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's completely different because there's a shift in mindset. Your mindset when you are in corporation is you are playing not to lose.
Yeah.
When you are an entrepreneur, you're playing to win. It's completely different.
Yeah.
And you are taking a level of risk.
Yeah. And the
Well-
choices are, it's very funny that you say that, because when you go throughout, throughout the entrepreneurial, journey, right? So as you said, in corporate, you try to, get ahead by, not losing, right? But you know that there is a certain net, of safety, a certain safety net that is there.
Yeah.
And you can always catch up again next year, next appraisal, next, cycle, right? In entrepreneurship, as you say, you are there to win, but the other alternative is to die.
Yeah.
There is no gray area in the entrepreneurial journey, right? Have you experienced that, when you made that move?
You have to be okay with the fact that no one will save you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
And you have to be okay with the fact you can really only rely on yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
It is tough. And honestly, even today, I'm still learning. And
we are all.
You are learning by going through obstacle and surviving.
Yeah.
And when you are going through obstacle and surviving, you are like, okay, I can do it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I can
do it
survive
again.
that. Yeah.
So I'll give you an example of that. So we stay concrete. I had situations like 5 months ago when we had an investor who pulled out last minute. And it was kind of a big chunk of money. It was like 2 months of cash flow for us.
Okay.
So we were in a situation where, what are we going to do now? We are going to run out of cash. So 2 solutions. Myself, I just had to sell more.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the phone and went directly to visit the customer back in France. I went around visiting them to speed up the process.
Yeah.
Something we did. And my co-founder, Remy, in his case, he negotiated with our current business angel to delay some debt that we have towards them and make them bring a bit more money in the company as a debt as well.
Yeah.
So that's how we managed to do it. But you see, now that we passed, now that we went through this, we feel much more confident that, okay,
we can make it happen no matter what, right?
Yeah,
but it's
absolutely.
often this kind of situation in the entrepreneurial journey is like a blessing in disguise, because you see the earth shattering under your feet. And then, you have this resourcefulness that comes from, you don't know what, you don't know where.
Survival.
Exactly, right? It's like a survival feeling of like, you know what, it's not gonna, not on my watch. Yeah, it's not gonna die on my watch. So, as you say, you pull up the phone, you renegotiate your, conditions, whatever. But that's a very, very strong skill. And here I'm gonna have a 2-step question. I would love that we speak about Remy, your co-founder, at some point, but most probably a little bit down the, the question line. But here, 2 things before we move on is 2 questions in one. Is that after being in tech and hardware, first question is, why decide to go towards the fitness sector, right? That's the first question, right? And within that question, is it something that was close to your heart and you wanted to solve something that you understood personally, or was it just the opportunity that you seeked, at that moment, and you were like, okay, Remy, let's go do that together, right?
Mhm.
And you pushed it forward. So, because tech and hardware to fitness sector, and why the
Mhm.
fitness sector, that would be very interesting to tell us.
It's a bit of both, to be honest.
Great.
I've always been in fitness,
Mhm.
and always loved this environment. It's a very fun environment to
Yeah.
work in,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
So it was more, it was more like a member experience at the gym first.
Okay.
I was always very disappointed by the fact that I never received any callback to become a gym member. Once I
Okay.
become a gym member, all kind of products that you can buy, like
Is a gym
coaching
member.
or nutrition or anything like that, is not pushed at all.
Yeah.
They don't have sales process. They are not trying to sell you anything.
Mhm.
And being at Oracle at that time, that was the first time I was confronted to that. I was like, what are they doing? I mean, we literally need to sell pretty like any kind of service you can think of. We need to sell them. We need to have sales process for everything. It's very sales focused in a company like Oracle.
Yeah.
So I was like, why they don't have that? I don't get it. They have so much money, they don't care.
Yeah.
Is it a lack of tools? So that's how it started. When COVID hit, and a lot of those companies died, especially smaller gyms.
You
Because
mean the small gyms, or you
yeah,
mean the
small
provider
gyms,
of the service like yours?
small gyms,
Small gyms, right? Like
providers
so the
different.
physical,
Yeah,
businesses,
so
right?
a lot of
Okay.
them died because they rely only on prices and they were not able to actually sell an experience
Mhm.
and try to sell more products.
Yeah.
So okay, how we can solve that? And we did a market study. So market study was pretty simple. I did like all my cold calls. I called gym owners and asked them, we have this idea. We would like you to, have better sales process and
Mhm.
be able to call back people and promote them this kind of product and better manage your data. And quite a few of them were like, yes, that makes sense. We should do it. We are not doing it because we don't have the right tools. Okay, here we go. We have
Well,
the answer.
how the tools looked? Is it some, I don't know, Excel, sheet?
Yeah.
Is it some piece of paper? How does it usually look before you try to
Mhm.
integrate your solution? Were you confronted to?
You have to think that gyms are using gym management software, which
Okay.
is fine. It's good. I mean, there are very good solutions for payments,
Mm-hmm.
for invoicing, for various other kind of features.
Mm-hmm.
However, they are not designed for actually being very efficient CRMs.
Okay.
That,
But efficiency in terms of the sales, you mean? In terms
yeah,
of
yeah,
keeping track of your membership,
yes,
people, selling them more stuff, upselling,
yeah.
cross-selling, yeah?
Yeah, they have basic automation, but if you want to go further than this, they don't offer much. And indeed, you have to rely on multiple Excel spreadsheets if you want to have something
Okay.
which is kind of working.
Okay.
And that's where we come in. We replace all of that, and we go even further than what gyms are doing with Excel spreadsheet.
Okay.
Actually, so we did the cold calling at the beginning for having those interviews and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
having the
To
market study.
validate
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah, the idea.
I met our first, actually, our first business angels that way,
Okay.
which was a fitness park gym
Yeah.
at that time. And we actually built the first product with them. We went to the gym, we spent weeks with them on site, trying to understand how the staff think, trying to understand how they are using the current softwares, what they are doing on Excel that we can replicate,
Mm-hmm.
what can we do even um, in more possible ways. We look at that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we started. So
Okay.
our first actually opportunity was through the market study and cold calling.
Amazing. I can absolutely relate to that, because the way that we created, Ball Squad years ago was by extracting a list of over 800 public sport facilities
Mm-hmm.
and calling them during few months. I think it took us 3 to 4 months, because it was a side job for us, right? To call them and ask them if they were happy with the way they were accessing, people are accessing the facilities, and what they would change. And it all started from there. So exactly the same process, because the same as you, pen and paper, Excel, no tracking of what was happening, and so on and so forth. So very much relate to that, and it feels that it's very much the core thing, or the core, I would say, process of how sports in general is handled, even though it's one of the activity that brings the most emotions to people, that connects billions of people around the world. About this emotion of making sports together, of creating these communities, the feeling better, but it feels that it's often very overlooked in terms of how it can be improved, to make it even more structured and service even more the people that could benefit from it, right? I believe you had the same kind of feeling, even though in the gyms you can see them all over the country, and you would think that every corner, and even more in Poland, right, every corner there is a gym, fitness park, is Zdrowfit, whatever, but at the end of the day they are not so well prepared as we could think.
I think there are 2 points in what you mentioned. Is what I said at the beginning. First of all, you need to master so many things in the gyms that IT become a burden. It's really not something fun at all, and you completely lose track of it. So there's one thing. And to come back to the second thing, you will be surprised how many industries actually have very strong legacy tech. And there are a lot of opportunities with our industry. I don't see it only in fitness. I see it in beauty industry. I see it in everything which is relying a lot on B2C interactions. It's very hard actually when you look at it. When you need to track a lot of B2C interaction and follow your customers that way. I have companies who are still using HubSpot or Salesforce for doing that. And you should be on so much pain doing it for those stuff. Is meant to be B2B, not B2C.
B2C, absolutely.
So you have a bit of both. Is first adoption, because obviously, again, IT, complex, cannot do it.
It looks like a little bit IT usually for people that are not aware is like black magic.
That's it. And there's also a lot of legacy solutions on the market, unfortunately.
Okay. And then before to talk a little bit more deeper about the fitness sector, could you tell us the genesis of your, let's say, partnership with Remy? How did you get to know each other, and how come you started that together, right?
Yeah, of course. So for people who don't know Remy has a very strong background in actual project management, because he comes from
Remy. What is his surname?
Label.
Remy Label.
Yeah,
okay.
the beautiful in French. The beautiful for women.
Exactly.
so yeah.
Hi, Remy.
So Remy, has a very, very strong background in project management in gaming studios, which, I mean, in terms of managing a team, a tech team, I don't think you have higher standards than that.
Than gaming.
It's extremely impressive. Every time we meet with over provider of technology and I see how Remy's work, I'm like, whoa, God, okay.
Strong guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's very funny to see his growth as well. But we'll talk about that a bit later. And
where did you meet? You met in Poland?
We met in Poland when I was at Intel. We had friends in common. We went partying a bit together. First time I met him was like, damn, this guy is dangerous. What an asshole! Because it was very attractive towards the ladies.
So he's Rémi Le Beau.
Yeah, it's actually totally true. So actually, I introduced him to his wife in a club.
No way.
So we happened.
How many years ago was that?
Oh man,
post-COVID? No, pre-COVID.
Before I entered NVIDIA as well. So it was a while ago.
A while ago.
Yeah.
So you know each
7
other for
years, I think, at least something
amazing.
like that.
Okay.
Good lesson for anyone who is looking for a co-founder. I think what works great with Remy and I is we did try other projects before. We had ideas of doing a clothing brand, like a bit like Surfshark. We had other ideas, like for making our own vegan protein brand as well. So we are looking into it. We try different mock-ups. We're very deep into it.
Yeah.
And at least he, of course, he was not successful, but at least he made us understood that we can work
Work
well
together.
together.
Super.
We are
It's
very good
amazing.
at working together.
Great.
Uh, we have been since the very beginning of the project together, managing our own thing, having our own space. And I don't think of any time where we were even under tension.
Okay.
Um,
Always manage to speak about
yeah,
everything, and
yes.
because often one of the main reason for a startup collapsing,
Mm,
the reason number one, it's not their product, it's not their funding, it's not their market timing,
mhm.
it's the relationship between founders, right? That as the project grow, I'm not talking about project that never take off, but project that actually come to life. Often the founders relation
Mm.
is vital to it,
Yeah.
because it's basically a marriage, right? And that
Some way.
marriage has to basically bring compromises and discussions and communications and understanding, and if all that is not together, just like a marriage, it crashes,
Yeah.
right? No matter how good you're doing.
So I think it works well for us because we learned how to work together.
Mm-hmm.
We are also very communicative,
Okay.
and we have enough. How do you call that in English again? We are able to step back and understand how we feel,
Okay.
and trying to understand how the person feels as well.
Okay.
And it can be Remy and I, but we both highly respect each other for our skills. I know, even if we don't say it, we know that. I know that Remy respects me for what I does in sales,
Mm-hmm.
for what I do, sorry, in sales,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he knows how much I respect him for what he's able to do with the team.
Now he will know it.
Yeah, it's because it's something to sell.
Yeah.
But building a product,
Yeah.
keeping your client in mind,
Yeah.
having to work so many hours doing that, and making sure the team is happy and the team respect you and they don't leave, and
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
tremendous amount of work. We have a CTO as well, Marta as well. She who joins the team a bit later. She's also extremely dedicated.
Mhm.
Um, she she's bringing a different vibe as well to the company. I think she how can I put that? But she's able to ground a bit the team, especially more like junior people. I see they have a high respect for her, but they also don't try to overstep their boundaries.
Right.
And it's very good. It is a very good synergies we have in the team now.
Amazing.
So
How big is your development team at the moment?
we're gonna be, if I don't include Remy, I think around 8 at the end of the
Wow.
year. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's impressive. So that's all in development, right?
Yes.
Wow.
We
Okay.
put all the money back in development.
That's
Yes.
product focused
Yeah.
basically.
Yes. Yeah. For now.
Very
Yeah.
product focused. Okay. And so then for us to understand a little bit more why you tackle, let's say this specific, we understand why you tackle this specific problem, but what does it mean in the fitness sector? And by that I mean, when we look at fitness here, and we're specifically talking about the gyms, right, with the membership, so
Mhm.
Fitness Park and other brands of gyms that you can find all over. um, for me, from the outside world and knowing a little bit this market, it feels that it's a super super competitive market, because all those gyms fighting for space and membership from people,
Mhm.
and potentially with high investment, and from what we know, what we can see from the far, maybe tight margins, right? That's require some support. For sure, some other management software exists on the
Yeah.
market, right? Because as I heard it a long time ago, and I try to stick with it, is that if you say you have no competition, then potentially you have
Mhm.
no business, right?
Yes.
So here, taking all this, together, how Accolade Pro stands out, compared to what already exists or existed before on the market, and how do you, help the fitness sector, at least if there is competition there. I'm not aware, so I'm just asking you
We
here.
we have competition in a way because any kind of gym management software could be developing their own features.
Mhm.
So in a way we have that. We also have lead management system, which are already exist for some of them since the early 2000s. So it does
Okay.
exist.
Okay.
I think the main difference is we are really focusing on our staff experience,
Mm-hmm.
the staff of the gym experience.
Okay.
Meanwhile, most of our solutions are just copycat of HubSpot and Salesforce. They're trying to do the same, but for gyms. And it doesn't work. Us, we started from being in the gym.
Okay.
That's a completely different way of seeing things. Most companies I see doing software for fitness, they are actually just IT guys trying to do something for fitness.
Okay.
They have absolutely no clue about how it works.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest difference.
Mm.
We spend time with the teams.
Yeah.
I train, and we
You
are
experience it directly, yeah?
and we talk a lot with our customers.
Yeah.
I'm constantly there. I'm talking with them every day.
Yeah.
I even sometimes have fun. I just call the staff of the gym to see how it's going. So yeah, it's completely different.
Okay.
In that case.
So if I can, let's say, summarize it, first of all, a product that is very much focused on the people that are using it.
Yes.
Right? And also trying, if I understand you correctly, to create that real relationship with the people using your product, so you understand even further what is their need, or how you could keep delivering for them.
In a way, yes. It's coming from Rémi's experience as well.
Okay.
Because when you're working in video games,
yeah,
you need to constantly analyze what are your gamers doing.
Yeah.
What's bringing them frustration.
Yeah.
What keeps them hooked to a game.
Yeah.
And we are applying something similar for looking at how our customers are using our software right now. So yeah, it's both process, but it's also mindset.
Okay.
We have a mindset of really trying to be in their head and understanding how they do things. That's the first thing. But it's not only that. You need to have a strong vision.
Yeah.
I don't care about lead management.
Okay.
I really don't care.
Okay.
What I want is to make sure that gyms are using their customer data at their full potential.
Okay.
I know who wants what and when, and I'm able to provide it to him. Maybe this person at some stage will want coaching.
Yeah.
Then I will be there to provide this person coaching.
Yeah.
And once this person is doing coaching, maybe at some stage he will want nutrition. I will be there to provide some kind of nutrition services.
Okay.
This person will not go on internet to find that.
Yeah.
She will come to me at the gym, or I will come to her and I will sell this.
Okay.
That's the idea.
I got you. Yeah.
And that's a completely different vision, because most of people are just thinking about numbers, memberships.
Yeah.
You need to go much further than this. So that's the vision that we have.
Yeah.
We really want to keep people in the gym.
Create an
many
ecosystem
Yes.
where they basically can grow their, gym practice and feel supported.
True.
And so the gym benefits, but let's say the gym members, right, benefit as well, because they feel, basically listened to. Taken care of.
But also it's because we don't really understand the client cycle in fitness industry. It's not. You can start trying to lose weight, and after 6 months, you're gonna be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be like, no, I want to get muscle, and after 2 years, you're gonna be, oh, you know what? I just want to think about my health. It's constantly evolving. Yeah. How can you track those evolutions?
Okay.
It's not as easy as I need a fridge, and in 2 years, maybe I need a better fridge. It's not like this.
Yeah.
It's much more complex. And for that, you need to have very strong data gathering, and you need to be able to act on it after that. So it's pretty tough. That's where the challenge is.
I think what you have been telling to me right now, it's a perfect segue for my next question, because you lead an international team, made up of tech professionals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you were saying just before, you were saying, this is tech professionals trying to do gym-related, softwares, which often have a struggle to get that connection, right? Mm-hmm. But on the other side, you as the sales, guru, you are basically going to the gym and talking to those guys. And as you say, they are not very IT or tech savvy, right? How do you manage to make that bridge, right? How do you manage to bridge, the needs of those teams in the gyms and the crew and so on with your team of international tech professionals that are delivering for them thousands of kilometers away, right? Is there something specific that you do to create that understanding between those two words?
Well, there are a few things here. One of them is hiring. We hire people who have some kind of fitness experience, at least as members.
Okay. Even as developers and so on, you put it into the...
Absolutely.
Okay, super.
They need to have some kind of connection with our industry.
Super. Okay.
at least some of them are really into it, and actually they want to even come kind of visit some clients. It's very important for developers nowadays to feel like they have an impact, and see that people are actually using what they're doing.
Yeah.
And some of them are very happy because they can really see what people are achieving through our software. So that's something which is important. So hiring is one thing.
Okay.
Also after that is more the job of Remy to translate what he sees on the market into actionable steps for the development team.
Okay.
So, and after that, we measure what they are doing, and we analyze, how the staff of the gyms actually behavior, what behaviors they have towards the software.
Understood.
Yeah. So that's how we do it.
Super. That's great. And here, still staying in the team management, because, I had the chance to already know you for many years. I've seen this project come to life. I have seen the growth of it, right? And so this is why I'm so proud to have you here today. And we had countless amount of discussions regarding team management and leadership and so on. But I do not have your experience in terms of being in, big, massive corporate teams, right? For a long time. I've done it for a very short amount of time, but how would you compare, to do management in a big corporation with being a founder, right? And managing as a founder, like how does it correlate somewhere? Is there some anchor point between those two, or not at all? And you actually have just to, follow let's say the flow.
It will really depend at which level you were a manager in a corporation. Were you a director or just a manager or team leader? For me, it was more like toward team lead. Honestly, you are just an intermediary.
Yeah,
that's what you are.
You push the topic, basically.
Yeah. You're preaching the good word. That's it.
Okay.
And sometimes God is coming and he's slapping you in the face. That's how it goes.
Yeah, okay, sorry, God. Let me just, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And as a founder, then how does it? Where are you always dancing around, or how does it? Or do you have a directing, line that you try to follow?
You have your God is different.
Yeah.
Your gods are your clients.
Yes.
That's different.
Yeah.
Well, for me, in terms of management, the biggest thing is you need to lead with some kind of vision.
Yeah. Absolutely, always.
You have many books. You have the Why book by Simon Sinek. You have many things like that. I have my opinion about those things. I think it's a bit overblown sometimes. I think you just need to come to the team and tell them why they are doing this and how we are doing it and why they should care.
Okay.
And that's how we do it with the team. We don't have big values on the wall. We are too early for that anyway.
Yeah.
I think what matters in terms of management first is to have good people in the team. Again, 70% of how your people, or more like how long they will stay, is linked to your hiring decision. Are you creating an environment when they're going to feel good together? And even right now, when I'm hiring people, I'm trying to think about how they're going to fit
together
together as a team.
Yeah.
So it's really about the unit.
Yeah.
So you need to lead with a vision. You don't have a vision when you're in corporation. Let's not kid yourself. Okay. So that's one thing. And you are accountable for everything that you do. Again, no one will save you. When you're in corporation, if you are good at politics, somehow you can hide.
You can hide. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not the case here. We are making sure that every month, we have an Asakai. It's a session with the team where I'm describing to them what's going on. Okay, I'm talking about sales, talking about marketing, talking about finance, everything like that. Because we have sometimes where it's tough.
Yeah.
Okay, we have sometimes where we have to delay the salaries by a few weeks.
Yeah.
Well, this kind of thing. So we need to be very communicative and tell them what's going on.
Yeah.
And already, if you do this job of communicating regularly, explaining, and you need to explain why you are making some decision, why you are moving that one stuff, it's already a good thing. Also, what we do is we are doing a lot of one-on-one, at least once a quarter. And I'm really trying to understand how long they want to stay and what will make them stay.
Okay.
That's really something which matters. And I want to make sure that they feel some growth, especially because we have some kind of junior intermediates. People are below 30, and I am trying to make sure that they learn with us and they kind of feel a connection with the company through that. That's what matters. So I'm doing one-on-one to check that, but also we have Marta, she's doing regular one-on-one with them. And then I have Remy, who is also doing some kind of one-on-one from time to time.
So you keep basically, communicating with your team, right?
Yes.
And keep them involved into what you are doing and what's coming. And
Yes.
so they basically also buy in that vision that you guys are basically trying to execute on, or execute on.
But in fact, it's not my company.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like that. I don't think like it's my company or it's Remy's company or we are together against. It's not like that.
Yeah.
We are a bit specific because Remy and I are French. We are native French. We are a Polish company. We never forget that.
Yeah.
Okay. We have been funded by the French by the Polish government partly. So having Polish also developers here, it's a Polish company. So already it helps us to make kind of a distinction. Is we are part of a bigger project, which is also the growth of this country in general, and we really care about that. Something I
absolutely
really I strongly feel about that.
Yeah, I think all foreigners that are having an entrepreneurial journey in Poland, for the ones I met, everyone is very proud to contribute to the growth of the country, right?
Yeah.
No one is feeling that, I'm gonna try. I mean, at least from what I met, I didn't meet anyone that ever told me even off that, listen, I'm just trying to make some money and get the hell out of here, right? Everyone is very much like, man, I want to keep contributing and want to keep paying and bringing more growth here, right? So I really I hear you here.
We try to translate that to our developers, to tell them that they're indeed part of something bigger and they are part of one of the rare Polish startups, which actually is doing quite okay. And even when I was in the US, I was extremely surprised. When I was in the US, the amount of respect we have for being a Polish company. They don't care about me being French. It's like they're gonna make a joke about omelette de fromage and then after that they move on. Right?
Exactly.
So that's it.
Exactly.
So when you are a Polish company, you get a lot of respect. We should not forget that. And I'm trying to communicate that to the rest of the team. They are not just developers. They are part of a Polish startup who are doing great for this country. We have been funded by Polish government partly. So, we need to show some respect and we need to work hard. And they get that.
Okay.
At least I feel they get that. So,
I mean, as long as you're growing, it means they are, and to just focus a little bit on the product, as you said, it's something that is extremely important for you. You lead with the product, right? You bring a lot of automation, a lot of new possibilities for the staff, to do better, right? To manage better. And nowadays with the let's say accessibility to the artificial intelligence, right? Is this something that you already integrate into the product that you are providing somehow, some way? And how do you see basically the future of the wellness, and fitness, sector with those technologies? Is there a necessity to add those, or for now is it just a good to have but not a must have compared to other sectors, right?
I honestly think we are talking too much about technology.
Okay.
It's starting to be an issue because we
You mean as a company or as a sector?
As a sector.
As a sector. So in the fitness and okay.
There's a lot of talk about AI and sometimes you enter the gyms and they are dirty and the stuff is on their phone. AI will not save you.
Solve that.
So stop with this.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so it's really it's a bit annoying to me, to be honest. And I think we have too many AI players. It starts to be annoying. You see, not specifically fitness, but you can see, for example, on LinkedIn, all the solution you have for AI sales automation, blah, blah, blah. How many are going to survive? I'm very, because right now some people are making a lot of money. They are the one selling, I don't know, the pickaxe,
Yeah, the shovel instead of actually the gold,
So exactly, that's when they are talking about AI bubble, that's partly true. It's more a transfer of wealth.
Yeah.
Because Nvidia, they're gonna survive this. They're making a lot of money in the process.
Yeah.
They are the hardware guys. So no. And the funny things with this is that Nvidia is actually a software company because all the software guys they have for the instruction set and so on.
Yeah.
Are they firing any software engineers? No, they are not. So look at what the big guys are doing, and you will know how it goes. So I think to go back to the fitness industry, honestly, we are talking too much about AI. Really, you have a lot of legacy tech.
Yeah.
Even the API solutions are it's horrendous.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a pain. Data collection is badly done. So if you don't have consistent data and if you don't have multiple entry point to gather it, you're not gonna have good AI anyway.
I agree.
So
okay. And it's very funny because the same, I'm also in the sports tech, and we deliver our solutions to the same people that are on pen and paper or emails and Excels and things like that. And we have this question saying like, oh, are you guys planning to integrate some AI and things like that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Do you want to move someone from pen and paper to an AI solution? Let them please, just maybe, try to get into a computer, have an automation in place and so on. And then we'll talk about AI.
You need to talk about it. The terrible thing is you need somehow to be talking about it.
Yeah.
Which sometimes you're like, guys, please stop it.
Because
it's too much.
Because the end of it often, as you said, is to be in the trend, right? And to potentially fundraise or something like this, but less about, as you said, understanding the end consumer or user that you are delivering to, and what is the pain point. And in our case was the same, was saying like the people we're delivering to need a solution that works and that is actually valuable to them before to think about AI. If there is an AI usage, it's for my team internally to be more productive, but not on the service that we are delivering, because the service that we are delivering is already a leap forward for the people that are using it. So you won't just integrate AI to say AI-enabled tool, right? Very much similar. But it feels that across the sports tech sector, right, there is, the same basically feeling that, there is so much more to do before to get to this AI,
we have to be slightly careful in fitness because we need to make the difference between B2C and B2B. If we are talking about AI solution for fan management, you have a lot of those now for fans,
absolutely.
For teams, for things like that. It's a bit different. Maybe they're able somehow because they're connecting to social media or they gather their data from somewhere else. Maybe I'm not expert in this, but for B2B, no.
B2C, you mean?
In my case, for B2B, B2B, we are
for what you're delivering to them, Same. All right. And here, I would like to ask you to close this chapter of your leadership and team and around the innovation. The question is very simple. You are all the time, running everywhere, meeting people, high level people. And then, as you said, you have to talk to your team. You have a different life, right? How do you stay connected to reality, right? Because the way that we live or that, you live as a founder is so different, from someone that is doing a 9 to 5, right? How do you remain grounded in what you are doing to actually, deliver no BS AI-enabled stuff, but actually stuff that are, valuable?
But you see, it's like Jensen when he's going to the fish market.
Yeah.
Doing a bit the same. I'm just going to visit the gyms.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm just going there. I talk with the staff. I visit it. I like it. And I'm not necessarily going to very big box gyms and impressive places. I have some of those as clients, but also I'm going to remote places in France where there are very small gyms, and I'm going there and I'm visiting and I'm trying to understand how they think and how they work. So if you do that, you are staying grounded because you need to have a whole feel of the market, not to be talking only to the senior managers and like the CEOs of companies. And by the way, you'll be surprised, huh? Because in all the VPs and CEOs I know from the fitness industry, they are pretty well connected to how it works at a very at the granular operation level.
Okay.
They know.
Okay.
Some of them, they are going to visit.
Okay.
And they're spending time there.
Did they often come up the ladder?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, quite sometimes.
Quite some time, yeah.
You see that.
Okay.
You see that quite a lot. And also
from coach to owner, maybe to blah blah blah, and then it goes on.
Basic Fit, which is one of the biggest players nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, I think at the very beginning he was a coach. He had a small gym somewhere. But really, if you take Pure Gym in the UK, which are more than 500 locations nowadays, I don't know, 15 years ago, how many they had? Maybe 20. It's so big in terms of organic growth that your role kind of grow with the company at the same time, and you have to learn it. The profiles we meet in the gym industry are very interesting for that. Is you have people who, they just learned. They are true entrepreneurs as well. Even right now, we are. So I was mentioning at the very beginning that we had for some time this fitness park gym we were working with at the beginning. So he pulled out of the company later because of conflict of interest. So we could not work like that forever. But we still they are still my client today. He had one gym. He opened during COVID. Terrible situation. Perfect timing. He sold this gym, at a pretty several millions, and he opened 3 more gyms. Right now, he has 3 more gyms in the north of Paris. This guy is like our age. He started during COVID. It's like a startup with barely nothing. Opened 3 gyms, and now he's opening the master franchise for fitness park in Italy.
Okay, that's
Yes,
that's entrepreneurial.
You see, that's the kind of career path you can have if you do it well. If you are smart, fitness you can have very big, very nice, actually, careers. It's just like we're so focused being in startup universe that we forget about that. The amount of money you have in fitness when you're opening a gym, several millions, is for me, staying grounded is this as well. I'm meeting startups all the time, and they are so great. I'm doing hackathon, or they are so smart, and and this and that, and they love Alex Hormozy, and yes, it's great. And then I meet those guys who are,
just hustler.
And
just going for it.
Yeah, and I if I damn. So this guy is a Red One, shout out to him. But I have these videos of him breaking walls in his gym, when they had to refurbish it.
Yeah.
And that's this kind of guys you're meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's great. And they are not like talking about big ideas or spending their time having cocktail and food platters with potential investors. No, they are going
concrete
and they are doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's great. And that's, for us, that's also great to stay grounded.
To see, exactly,
when you see, and that's why you don't need to have a startup to be a successful entrepreneur. You can just do that and being great at doing it.
Absolutely.
And someone like Red One, he was a manager at fitness park.
Yeah, but but also again, you need a passion for it. And I think like you're touching on a very sensitive point is that no matter what you do a startup or you do a fitness or you do for the guys in Poland, the Żabka, which is, the local convenience store, the 7-Eleven. It doesn't really matter. It matters just, are you happy following that path, and does it basically fit to what you're trying, to accomplish in life, rather than trying to follow a trend, which is nice to be a startupper, or it's fancy to make a fundraising. You know what I mean? It has to be something that you believe in your core. Otherwise, it doesn't make much sense.
And that you are good at.
Yeah.
Also,
absolutely.
Sometimes it's a bit. I feel like people who work in startup or in tech environment are thinking a bit too highly of themselves. Meanwhile, I see people who are much more successful being gym owners of multiple sites, but those people, you will never heard about them.
Exactly. Absolutely. It's often like that. The guys that, are the most successful are the guys that are, the least heard or hidden, by from the media, and because they want to stay there, right?
Yeah.
They always to stay under the radar. Great. Now touching on a little bit more about your, let's say, life in Poland, right? I would like us here to, hear a little bit about your experience. Now you live in Poland for what? How many years already? 7, 6?
Yeah, more.
More?
I have no idea.
How old are we getting now? You're saying more?
I have no idea. It's
Less than
depressing.
a little decade, let's say. Let's call it
Almost, probably like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's
So
terrible.
let's call it a decade,
Yeah.
right? So you're living in Poland for a decade, but you have basically also lived in several other countries,
Yes.
right? You moved around, international, mobility. What did it teach you about yourself, right? Not only about Poland, but all this mobility, and maybe, what Poland also has basically kind of stamped at the end.
To give a bit of context,
Yeah.
I grew up in Africa.
Yeah.
So not many years, right? But I spent 3 years there when I was a teenager.
Where exactly?
Gabon on Ivory Coast.
Nice.
My father was in the military, so
Yeah.
I was following him.
Yeah.
I studied partly in Spain.
Okay.
I studied in the UK. I worked in Ireland. So yeah, I've been in a few places.
Yeah.
We go back to this idea of solving problems at a very low level. That's what moving abroad teach you. You need to fix things about yourself and about the situation around.
Yeah.
And in my case, I think one of my talent is I'm able to solve problems in a very unorthodox way. I'm able to. It's not even thinking outside of the box. It's just there is no box, and let's go on with it. And I think that's something I learned by being in a very different, very, very different environment. When I was in Africa, I was the only white boy going the street and playing with African kids basketball. Yeah. And I was okay, but that's just so alien in terms of experience that somehow it will influence the way you see the world after, and the way you are trying to see the world another way that you did not necessarily thought of.
Absolutely, I get it. Absolutely, and taking this, I believe here there is a connection between, as you were saying, solving your problems, moving from place to place, with solving, the problems as an entrepreneur, right? It's kind of, you have this resilience, right, that is built in from the very beginning. And taking that into account, what inspires you, the most in your day-to-day life as an entrepreneur here in Poland, right? Is there, is this environment, like Poland as a country, makes it somehow different to be an entrepreneur compared to other places?
I don't know. I've not been an entrepreneur anywhere, so it's hard for me to relate.
I mean, from the discussions we have, potentially with other entrepreneurs from other places, or the experience you hear, or is the context here, there is something inspiring about this area to be an entrepreneur here as a French guy in Poland?
It goes down to your motivations. Will my motivation change if I was in another country? I don't think so.
Okay.
Poland is giving me other opportunities. It's more related to how you set up a business and where your energy is going. So, give you an example, because I have a company in France as well. Okay, because I resell part of my product through an entity in France.
Yeah.
The amount of crap you have to deal with in France is amazing. You have no idea. If you don't have a French company, oh God, the amount of pain, especially working with gyms who are, in France, it's a nightmare. Labor law is a nightmare. So I had an apprentice for 4 months. She was not motivated. She moved away, and now I'm going to court.
Right.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one. It's regular now in France. For anything, you can go to court with your employees. So as a result, I have quite a few gyms who are like, I will not open another one.
Okay.
So it does have it does actually impact the economic growth, because you don't want to hire more people.
Basically, right?
You don't want to hire more.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of control, which are literally blocking the company. That's why all my activity is based in Poland. I don't take any risk with fiscality or anything like that in France. It's very easy how I do it, how accounting is working. That's it. I have a control tomorrow, gonna be easy. But is just where it is so simple in Poland. You have B2B contract. It's easy to end any kind of partnership with your employees, but it's also easier for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's also better for them because, well, they get more money.
Yeah.
And that's the thing which we don't understand in societies which are becoming a bit more socialist, let's say. My employees are actually getting better paid than in France. Because if I was hiring them in France, I would have to pay so much charges
that you would have to lower
that I would have to lower the salary.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they have more money to throw back into the economy.
Absolutely. Great. And moving on now a little bit more on, as you said, on the vision and the future, right? How things will go. Let's start with, first question here is about your industry, right? As you say, you are really focused on getting as much information as possible for you to anticipate what's coming up, right? And what do you see as being, let's give it a 5, because things are going so fast. So let's give it a 5 years, like a time ahead here. What's going to be the biggest challenges that the fitness industry will face potentially from your view, right? And what will be the biggest opportunity at the same time for that same industry?
Okay, I will talk about the opportunity and then I will link it to potential risk.
Go for it.
We have a huge opportunity in general in terms of the fitness penetration rate. So fitness penetration rate is how many people do you have in a country which actually own a membership. Okay. In the US, it's 25%. Some areas in the US is more than 30, almost 35%. Wow. So actually, it's quite good.
But is it percentage of the overall population or percentage of the population that is in age to go to the overall population? Okay, so that's okay. Wow, that's massive.
So that's massive. In Poland, they are around 8%.
8%?
Yeah.
That's crazy because in Poland you see gyms everywhere and there is this multi-sport card and there is all these things that makes it so easy to get there.
Actually, that's not a good thing.
Yeah?
No.
What is not a good thing?
Aggregators are
aggregators, yeah.
They are very bad.
We can have a discussion about those aggregators,
we can have a discussion about that. Okay, let's talk about France. 10%.
10%. Okay.
Is what we call in English a bloody disgrace.
Okay.
Spain 14.
Okay.
Is growing fast. UK close to 17. They got 1 point within a year.
Okay.
So pretty good.
Okay.
Germany a bit more than 14.
Okay.
It should be around that number.
Okay.
So and Nordic country more than 20.
Okay.
So if you compare to the US,
the gap is crazy.
And even in the US, when I was there last month, they were like, yes, we can do. We are 25. We are very bad. We can, some areas are doing 38%. We should go there. Okay. Meanwhile, we are very happy. We are 10%. So it's actually very nice to see that. So I think
the penetration
rate is already a huge potential.
Okay.
In terms of challenges, the challenges are linked to the economies of various countries.
Okay.
Labor law was an example in France as well. That's a challenge. Of course, it will be VAT is a challenge. We have different VAT rates all over Europe. So the lower VAT we have, the more facilities we're gonna get eventually.
Okay. But what you think that is in your business, the VAT, like those 20% is a blocker for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very hard to make a good margin in fitness. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have that. You have that as well. So you have various challenges, but they are more like micro challenges.
Okay.
Understood. And then I think if we want to increase the penetration rate, we need to have more diversity in terms of facilities. We have a lot of low cost or kind of medium range facilities in Europe. We don't have as many, maybe without the UK. UK is a bit of an exception here, but we don't have as many choice as you have in the US. In the US, you have some facilities. Come on, we are talking about longevity facilities. Recovery is a big topic now. I mean, you talk about that in most European, apart from the UK, maybe they're a bit more advanced, but you talk about that in other places in Europe. They're like, what? What are you talking about? So it's a bit like that. For that, you need big investment. And that's a problem as well. Will the ever investors be ready to put that much money? Or will you have better access to debt from banks?
Okay.
You have those limitations, but they are not necessarily fitness only.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So in terms of raw numbers, yes, big potential. And you're gonna keep on growing, and we're gonna have more choice, and you're gonna
no matter what.
It's a very, very good industry to be in. To be honest, I feel like we are just at the beginning when I see the numbers. But hey, macroeconomics, we'll see.
Okay, absolutely. You told us about the challenges and the opportunities that the sector, the fitness sector will potentially show in the coming years. But right now, I would like to close with a little bit of futurology and vision and expectations from your side regarding Accolade Pro. In a very simplistic question, how do you envision Accolade Pro doing in the next 5 years? And let's even push it maybe further in the next 10 years, right? Where will you guys be?
So first of all, in terms of revenue, I'm really planning on doubling revenue every year, at least. That's what we have. We have been doing a bit more. This time we tripled. It's a bit hard for me to see how we will go on that side, because right now we have been talking mostly with smaller gyms and small fitness franchise. So for me, small is less than 10.
Okay. So you mean basically you have one contract that potentially gets you 5 to 10 gyms.
Yeah.
And each one of them is paying for your product,
That's it.
service.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. And why that focus?
It's easier.
Obviously.
Okay. It's just like you meet a person and it goes smoothly. And,
low-hanging fruit, basically.
Yeah, and the decision making process is much faster.
Okay, got you.
And usually, we are in an industry which is a very late adopter, let's say. They really need to know who you are, and if you already have a track record, and then they will start taking time and meet with you and actually make something happen. That's an important point, because the fitness industry is very large. We are talking about 60,000 facilities in Europe.
Okay.
In the US is it depends on the estimation and what you include, but it's around 90,000. But in fact, it's a very small. In terms of people, it's very small. You go to an event and you can meet, the VP of Purpose Brand, which is gonna grow to 10,000 clubs.
Okay.
You can meet the CEO of Crunch Fitness, 4,000 club. In Europe, we don't have those numbers. It's a bit lower, right? Yeah. But if you meet someone from Philippe Herbet from Fitness Park, it's more than 300 clubs.
Okay.
Those people are around you. You can talk with them. It's fine. And if I meet someone who's from another franchise, they will probably know each other. They talk all together. It's you'll be surprised at how well connected they are together, and how they, even if they are competitors, they are able to talk together and actually understand how they can grow the pie instead of just fighting each other.
Yeah.
So if you start talking and having success with some franchise which are larger, I'm talking about 100 clubs, at least, which we start to have now, it start to get easier, and then you can really, really fast track your growth. But I don't have enough experience yet to see how easy it will be and how fast it will go.
Okay.
But for example, we have a pilot with Gold Gym. Just to give you an idea, Gold Gym is 600 clubs. Right now, I have 100 clubs in the company.
Okay.
So it can triple, it can do even more. It's very hard to say. Me, I really want to reach. Let's put a number appropriate, but around 25 million within the next 6-7 years.
Okay.
That would be something I would be
so,
aiming at.
ARR, right?
Yeah.
Annual recurring revenue of 25 million euros.
For a fitness branch.
For a fitness brand. Okay.
Which, without saying too much, fitness is great, but we are not only thinking about fitness.
Yes, absolutely. I could hear that already in what you were saying,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So that will depend on that. But just to give you an idea of the potential, so there's one of our competitor, which is called Gym Sales.
Mm-hmm.
They've been entering the market. I think it's 2012, probably something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They have been acquired by ABC Fitness, which is a big gym management software in the US.
Mm-hmm.
They have about 40,000 facilities.
Mm-hmm.
This company also bought another one called GlowFox.
Mm-hmm.
GlowFox was same Irish startup, which is doing gym management software for studios.
Yeah.
They got bought for $200 million.
Okay. How long ago was that?
It was I think it was right before COVID or at the end of COVID, something like that.
Okay.
I will have to check again, but it was around that time. And that's kind of we are following
that path.
That path, because I read all the articles and I have a pretty good idea of their growth.
Yeah, how it went there. Yeah.
So we can actually have a path.
Basically tracking that. Yeah.
So we are looking at this as an inspiration because if you want to put some targets, it needs to be achievable.
Absolutely.
Right? So what a better way just to look at what others have been doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, not reinvent the wheel, but actually, try to see what has been done and make it maybe better, right?
Exactly. So the only way we can achieve that is by signing those big contracts. It can go fast. But again, you also need the operation behind it.
Absolutely.
I need support. I need more devs, all of that. We are a company, we're already 10. Honestly, you're looking to me about the next 5 to 10 years. 50. Probably more. According to which country. Opening in the US, you need to have support in the US. You need to have sales people in the US. Yes. That's another thing. So it's I don't want to put our targets because, to be honest, I really at this stage I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. We have been on track of what we wanted to achieve so far.
Amazing.
That's what I can say. So that is good. However, now we are talking about something else. Is meeting with big brands, and you, as a CEO, how you present yourself toward people who are also CEOs. It goes beyond the product.
Yes, absolutely.
That's where I need to train, and I need to be. It's not impactful, but I need to reflect more on that because it's something to talk with smaller companies where it's easy to relate to them.
Yes.
It's easy for them to relate
to you. Yes.
But when you meet people who are at a very, very high level and they don't have that much time to spare.
Yeah. You have to be really much more, as you said, impactful. I think impactful is the right word,
impactful,
actually.
You need to come with, okay, we know your company.
Yeah.
We don't need to explain to us what you are doing. That's where we want to go with you. And I will explain to you how we're going to do it.
Absolutely.
Just let us do our job.
All right. I think we are, I would say done on the, smart and serious topics, right?
Oh, we can be stupid again.
Exactly. We can actually be our natural self, being stupid. So I just have a couple of, quick fire round questions, right? And, the idea is that, you answer without thinking, and we will put the answers. Our dear Anya, that does miracle, will put the answers on the video directly. So, here, the first question for you would be, what's the business or leadership book that was the most inspiring to you or that changed something for you? I'm not going to give mine because every episode I'm giving mine, it's always the same. So this time I'm going to...
What's yours? I'm interested.
Mine is the one that changed a lot for me. Not everything, but a lot is the 4 hours work week from Tim Ferriss, right? That one changed very much everything.
Yeah, I see you are really working 4 hours a week indeed. I'm so glad. Such a big lesson you learned. Well done.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's the paradox of it. Actually, I started to work more because of that book. But that's another story of how stupid I am. But yeah, do you have anyone that you would recommend
for me? A straight line leadership.
Straight line leadership.
Yeah.
Okay. From who? Can you say the author?
Oh,
no, you don't have no idea.
Don't
Anya, I think we'll have to have
you have to look at it.
Exactly.
What I think is good.
Straight line leadership.
Yeah,
and I would say it speaks about straight line leadership.
Yeah, it's just you go straight to the point. Forget about it's not about all the obstacles, but all the distractions.
Okay.
When you are making decision, when you are doing management. I mean, just to give you a straight example of what we are doing right now, I have pretty much 3 missions. I need to sign deals. That's it. I'm going to sign deals.
Exactly.
Then I'm doing some hiring because I need to support the team for hiring.
Yeah.
And then after that, I need to solve some kind of administrative problems because I'm the one to have to represent the company at the court and for certification. So I have a bit of that. Yeah. But I don't have anything else around. It should be this.
Yeah.
My mission, bring money.
Yeah.
And there should not be anything else in between, apart from stuff that I see I really need to do. But apart from that, it should be this.
Okay.
Nothing in between. There are a few other lessons. One of them, which is a big one, is there's a big difference between business and business.
And business, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
People tend to forget this because they are a lot into the hustle culture. Hustle, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't know what those people are doing. When I'm spending a day talking with clients, I'm making cold calls.
Yeah.
I'm really tired.
You don't have time to do anything else.
I'm really tired.
Yeah.
And I cannot work more than 10 hours doing this.
Yeah.
It's extremely taxing.
Absolutely.
When I'm doing business meetings and I'm spending 4 or 5 hours sometimes in the car a day.
Yeah. Got you.
It's not a hustle culture, that's reality.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So you have a lot of people who are talking about doing so much and always doing this and always doing that. And and the reality is you cannot push yourself too much at a certain stage.
Yeah.
It will come back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes to bite you in the ass at some point. That's the reality.
And that's how I feel now. So we are doing very intense. It's very intense time for us. I'm going to sign deals. I'm doing all those trips and stuff. But you're gonna.
So straight line leadership then.
Yeah,
right?
Straight line is an example. Yeah, straight line is good. Yeah.
Okay. So the second one, more about the place you live. You and I are, living in Warsaw. It's a city we love. Both of us. Can you tell me what is your favorite spot in this city, or what is your favorite thing to do here?
I really like Fabrica Norblina.
Yeah,
because it's next door
for
me, so I spend a lot of time there. And because I DJ there during summer as well.
That's what I wanted to say.
I DJ there during the summer, so I know the staff. I played in Moxo as well before, so I really enjoy the people there. I know they are very professional as well. So that's a very good example of a food court which is actually working well. Yeah. So I really do enjoy the atmosphere and the people working there. So
Can you tell me when do you celebrate a new deal, right? Or a win, or maybe a new investor? Where do you go to eat in Warsaw? Is there a specific restaurant or a place that you really like?
I don't celebrate.
That's
terrible.
So that's great. So tell us why you don't celebrate.
Because there's no better time to sign a deal than to sign another deal that after you sign the deal.
Like that.
Keep the momentum.
Yeah, so you just keep going.
Yeah.
No time to basically stop and say, that was okay.
No.
Okay, just keep going.
Pushing. We'll celebrate later. I will celebrate this summer probably. Until then,
keep pushing. Yeah. Okay. And this one you better have an answer for. We all know that Polish cuisine has a specific flavor, right? So after all those years here, what would be the Polish dish that you like the most?
I'm gonna be very boring answer to you, but it's gonna be pierogies. I'm sorry.
Okay, but which ones?
I will not say the R word, so I will go for the one with meat.
Fried or boiled?
Fried.
Nice, good. So I think we'll leave you on this, right? On the
Sure.
fried pierogies. I think that's perfect,
There you
to
go.
stop the Red Rooster podcast.
There you go.
Corentin Bernard, thank you for being with us today. It was
Thanks.
really a pleasure
Yeah.
for me, to have you here. But I think your story and whatever you say today will absolutely resonate with anyone who will be watching us. You will have all the description, all the different things we talked about in the descriptions. Don't hesitate to follow our LinkedIn, share this content around. And Corentin Bernard, you have the last words. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thanks very much for having me. It was a lot of fun. Now I can finally stop talking like I'm intelligent and go back climbing trees. Thank you very much for today. All right.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Cheers.